Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Jason and Telecom on Central Protocol. Alright, in the bottom left of Central Protocol we have the red Terran player representing Cloud M. It is Jason. And in the bottom right of Central Protocol we have the blue Zerg team representing the Ever clan. It is Telecom. Okay, so this is GM level Terran versus Zerg from the Korean ladder. Excited to bring this to you today. And yes, this is Falcon Paladin. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard. I do cast 2 daily Legacy of the Void casts. I'm also currently doing a Legacy of the Void campaign playthrough, so that's exciting news as well. So if you want to catch those, you can do it at 10 p.m. nightly on my channel. And I also have, again, these 2 daily Legacy of the Void uploads that you can catch every day on my channel at noon Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern. Alright, so a ZVT on this map. I haven't cast many ZVTs on this map. Usually Protosses versus Zergs I've cast a lot of. I have done 1 or 2 of this matchup here, but not that many. SCV scouting around. This is a 4-player map, and it looks like the SCV might have correctly guessed here where the Zerg team was. And indeed, SCV comes right on up, sees that early hatchery, sees the gas spawning pool here. More of a macro play. There it is from Telecom. It would have been sooner regardless. But either way, this is definitely going to be more of a macro play rather than a super aggressive build from Telecom, which makes a lot of sense. As the Zerg player in StarCraft 2, what you want to do is get your drone count up, get your army when you need it, and then overwhelm your opponent while defending as much as you can. It's not so much going to go down and break down your opponent's front door unless you go for the Roach Ravager composition. I've seen a lot from pro players recently where they get Roaches, Ravagers, get those upgrades, throw down Corrosive Biles, and just go stomp face against Terran. It's kind of crazy. Even tanks don't do that well. Marauders don't do that well because Ravagers aren't considered armored. I have seen some chatter about possibly making Ravagers armored because they don't take that extra damage from Marauders and from tanks that Roaches do, which means they can absorb more damage from the attacking and defending Terran units, which means they last longer, and Corrosive Bile is even that much more effective against those tanks that cannot move. So we'll see if that happens in this game here. Reaper is already halfway across the map, heading towards the Zerg outpost, and we'll see what Telecom does about this. The answer is going to be some queens. Is it just queens to handle this Reaper? Interesting. Nope, there are lings out on the field. There are 4. KD8 charge knocking 4 of them back. 1 ling is going to die. Good micro from Jason to get that kill. I think he wants to kill that other one as well. Going to chase these lings actually onto the creep. He wants to get that final Zergling. Can he get it? The lings are too fast on creep. Queen getting some shots off. He does get the Zergling kill. And then backs on out. So we're going to use those combat drugs to heal up. A second Reaper's here. Is this Reaper pressure? It is. 2 more barracks are on the way. This is going to be mass Reaper pressure here from Jason. I've seen this before. It is so crazy for the Zerg player to hold off. We'll see if Telecom can do it or not. And it's just pretty much non-stop KD8 charges and Reaper attacks. Look at this. The Reapers are standing on in, just doing 10 damage per shot on that Queen. It's not very much, but it adds up. Can Telecom hold on? The Reaper attack is continuing. Another one on the way. But then Marines. Okay, so maybe this isn't a full-on 3 racks Reaper. KD8 charge again, taking down that Queen. So close. The Lings, no, do not get a single Reaper kill. The combat drugs will heal them up. The Reaper's doing an excellent job here of this harassment. This Queen is only down to 38 hit points. Coming in again, going to try to get this Queen. KD8 charges thrown down. 1, 2. I think the second ones might have missed. Not really the most well-placed ones I've ever seen. These are now Speedlings, though, but they still die to Reapers just the same. They're just a little faster about it. And Roaches coming across the map. Are the Roaches going to be aggressive or defensive? It looks like they can't quite make up their mind. Might be defensive here on the low ground, just making sure the Reapers don't have a safe place in which to retreat. They're holding the Zelnaga Watchtower instead. Alright, Terran base back at home. Continuing to go, I was going to say 2 factories, huh? Nope, 1 factory. And a bunch of barracks as well as bunkers. 3 bunkers. Whoa, whoa, Jason is worried about some major aggression here. Interesting. Aggression from Telecom. His 3rd command center coming up there as well. Production tab shows Stimpack being researched. More SCVs. You're not breaking this. I don't think. The positioning of these bunkers is too good. They can reach you no matter where you are, I think. Oh no, there's actually a spot here where they can't be reached by the bunkers. KD8 charge knocking those lings back, doing what they can about them. The roaches are trying to kill. All these SCVs are losing mining time here, finding the sweet spot, and actually doing this major aggression with this roach play, continuing to send roaches across the field and getting a third hatchery behind this. I like this play from Telecom. Looking very strong indeed. So right now it's 40 to 37 harvesters. A lot of these SCVs lost mining time though. That slows down the Terran economy. They can repair to stay alive here, which is something that I think Protoss and Zerg players would like to do, but keep in mind the lost economy is also a big, big problem. Telecom, again, taking that third base. Creep spread looking okay. This one could probably throw down another creep tumor. Queen, throw ye down a creep tumor. That Telecom may be enriched thereof. No, nope, not going to happen. That's okay. Lair coming up here, the natural. Queen inject, ready, set, go. Oh my gosh, Queen, you have to do this for me. Ready, set, go. Oh no, Telecom, are your injects slipping? No, that one was good. And that one too, I guess wasn't the worst. Wait, is it actually injected? It is. Never mind, I apologize, Queen. I apologize, you were already injecting. How embarrassing. You could throw down a second inject though. That's something you can do in Legacy of the Void. Oh, good timing there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Reaper is still trying to kill stuff. Has 6, is a corporal. He should be leading a group, not going up by himself, but he is very, very, very brave. Reaper indeed. Reactor coming up on that factory. Some Hellion play as well as some medevacs. So fairly standard bio against the Zerg player. Usually comes down to things like bailing hits for the Zerg, as well as maybe lurkers. Lurkers could be good. Hydralisk Den on the way, +1 missile attack, Glial Reconstitution, as well as Carapace. Running on up here, but there's a drop of a lot of Marines, and this Roach Warren is not in a good position to handle this one. Oh boy, here comes the drop. Zerg team is nowhere near. The Marines go right after the Roach Warren. It's down to 50% health, and it's going to explode immediately. No Glial Reconstitution for you. The Lings come rolling in, but there aren't that many of them. They just get melted away. Spore Crawler dies at the same time. Queens. Roaches trying to get this. That roach count is pretty good, but picking up and boosting out of there is Jason. Knows when to leave, knows when he's ahead, and when to quit when he's ahead. So killing that Roach Warren, big freaking deal. Because now, look at this. Telecom has to make another one, has to restart Glial Reconstitution. Maybe not a good place to put your Roach Warren. Maybe that's a pro tip later on for the people watching this cast. So here come the medevacs. Another group. 2 groups here of all Marines. Yahoo! Just trying to do what they can. The roaches are ready for this one, though, as well as Hydralisks. I would not unload here if I were you, Jason. That's right. Back out. No, it is choosing to unload. But, man, those Hydras do so well against Marines, especially when they don't have any upgrades. +1/+1 on the way, but not quite there yet. Pushing on this third base, killing creep. There are Banelings here. Oh, focusing the Banelings down. I don't think they really killed anything but 2 Marines. Yeah, that was great. The Marines pop on in here. When the roaches evacuate, go after the Queens. Go after these lone Hydralisks. Burn them to the ground. These Queens dying as well. Oh, that hurts the inject so much of the Zerg player. A couple roaches and a Hydralisk. Is it enough to take care of this? Reinforcing units coming from the top as well. They want to kill the medevacs. They can't because of the boost. And another army comes down here from Jason, going after this worker count. Boom, drones getting murdered left and right. These Marines are looking so strong with their +1/+1, just standing in and then running again. Once they start taking casualties, it's time to boost up and get out of there. Resources lost tab, 800 minerals, 100 gas for the Terran team. 2,900 minerals and 375 gas lost for Telecom. Telecom is hurting in the face of all this aggression against Jason. Look at these Overlords supply blocking the Zerg player massively as well, replacing the Overlords as best he can, but he's making a push. He's going Roach. He's going Hydra, Ling, Baneling, and Centrifugal Hooks on the way. I don't think it is. The Marines killing another Overlord. They really want to kill this third base for the Terran. Here comes a big army, though. Good Stutterstup micro here from Jason as well. Widowmines burrowing. This base is pretty much a lost cause. This army right at the front getting taken down by Roaches. Or are they? Are they actually killing the Roaches instead? Yes, they are with the healing. Big attack coming right up here. The Banelings are all gone. Roaches and Hydras trying to snipe this down. Actually going fairly well against these Marines. The Marauders as well are forced to retreat. Big time attack right into this main base, or this natural base rather, are the Hydralisks and the Roaches. SCVs being forced to pull off the line. This army's still alive. This base completely gone. Roaches pulled out. coming from the north side and trying to surround the Marines. Not going to happen. Indeed, Hydras are left behind. Widow Mine shot, almost taking out a Roach. No mining happening at all from this base, but this base is up and fully operational for the Terran team. It is very back and forth at this point. The Marines do not have +2/+2 yet. I don't think it's even on the way. Is the Roach count enough to handle this? I don't think it is. Roaches are so low on health. More are in production, though. Forced to pull drones off the line to try to kill these Marines. Try to allow the Roaches to clean this up. And yes, I believe the Roaches should be able to barely handle this with reinforcements popping out. And indeed, they do handle it. Roaches and Hydras are still here. And Widow Mines, though, burrow. And they're going to get shots off. Oh, absolutely smashing those Roaches to the ground. The last Hydra is cleaned up as well. And running away are these medevacs completely void of anything. So here we are. A bit of a breathing stop here. Resources lost. 7,200 minerals, 600 gas for the Terran player. 10,000 minerals, 2,200 gas for Zerg. 27 SCVs have died and 19 drones. So it's 42 to 42 or 44 workers, fairly even, but that's actually good for the Terran player. Bleeding heavily is Telecom. Can he do this? Popping in again. The Widow Mines are a huge problem. They do so well against Hydralisks. Good micro picking off a few units there as the Marine blood stains the creep. Oh, morphing in some Ravagers. Again, like I said before, Ravagers are good against this composition. Hydras as well, pretty fantastic. Getting rid of those Widow Mines, thanks to the help from the Overseer. Oh, gets a shot off, almost kills the Overseer. Not quite, though. Standing in, gets rid of the Widow Mines. Ravagers coming from the left side, getting a full concave on these units. Corrosive Bile forcing the army back. And that's kind of a benefit of Corrosive Bile. Even if it doesn't hit, necessarily, it still can be good enough to force the army to retreat, which can be almost as good as a win in certain situations. So I do like Corrosive Bile a little more than I used to. I'm seeing it have more and more utility each and every time I see it used, which is, I think, is the idea in StarCraft 2, is that these new abilities are brought in. It takes some time for players to figure out how to use them, you know? Widow Mines getting cleaned up by Lings. Marine getting completely annihilated by these Lings as well, with +1 Carapace, +2 Carapace on the way, but no attack upgrades for those Lings. I guess +2 missiles here for the Roaches and the Ravagers as well. Ling pops in, sees a high Marine content here, and trying to get those Banelings up. Can they morph? No, the Banelings can't morph. That's a huge problem for the Zerg. All the Banelings are gone. All that's left are some Roaches and Hydras, and Ravagers lost all of those Banelings. Oh no, Telecom has to be feeling terrible at this point. Stimming forward, just melting everything. The whole Zerg army's killed. The Overseer as well. Roach pops up. That's a GG from Telecom. Telecom's defeated. Jason is victorious, and Telecom has left the game. Whew. Really good non-stop match there. Again, the early aggression with those Reapers. Just 3 Reapers, not a mass Reaper play. And then the attack with the Roaches at the front that got held off fairly well. Drops here and here, killing the third base. And then another attack with Roaches and Hydras that got clear up in here. Did a ton of damage, but was finally cleaned up. But in the end, I think that the lost drones was just too much for Telecom, and those Overlords as well. Overlords up here at the 4th, kind of doing nothing that the Marines caught almost by accident. Supply blocked Telecom so severely, he was forced to use a lot of minerals just replacing that supply. He didn't have the ability to replace his worker count, which meant that he didn't have the money to get a huge Roach Hydra army as he expected. And that was it. So that was a pretty good game played by both of these players. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you want to catch more daily Legacy of the Void uploads from Falcon Paladin, you can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.